Welcome to P&B News Analysis. Many thanks for joining us at this time. This is News Analysis coming to you live on Politics and Business TV. The headlines. Welcome to Politics and Business Television. Thank you for joining us at this time. This is News Analysis coming to you live on Politics and Business TV. The headlines. Flooding Bornu Yoruba community seeks help. Protesters storms River Electoral Commission, insists election must hold. And Tinubu plans to bar customs, NPA and others from revenue collection. Details coming up shortly. Welcome back. My name is Amina Idris. Now the news in full. The Yoruba community in Borno State has called for urgent support for its 4,600 members who were affected by the recent flooding that submerged 70% of Maiduguri and its environs. The president of the Yoruba community in Borno State, Shaka Abiodun, who made the appeal while speaking with newsmen in Maiduguri on Thursday evening, said most affected are artisans struggling for survival. Abiodun lamented that the flood disasters have destroyed homes, sources of livelihood and property, while noting that victims have lost everything they labored for. Abiodun emphasized that the flood displaced hundreds of families, destroyed homes and infrastructure, and caused a lack of access to basic necessities like shelter, food, clean water, and health care. He solicited individuals, corporate organizations, and government agencies to come to their aid. The community president, however, commended the efforts of the state government for the prompt responses it put in place to provide succor to the victims, to provide shelter to the victims. And now the angry Nigerians on Friday stormed the office of the River State Independent Electoral Commission, singing and chanting "Election must hold." They defied the heavy rainfall, spreading canopies while singing and drumming with one side of the road blocked. The protest came after the River State governor stormed the RSIEC in the early hours of Friday to stop the River State Police Command from taking control of the premises. Recall that security operatives in the state as dark hours on Friday foiled an attempt by men dressed in police uniform to take over the office of the River State Independent Electoral Commission. The incident reportedly occurred around 1 a.m. on Friday. It was gathered that the miscreants attempted to scale through the gates and strong room of the Commission to cut away sensitive electoral materials meant for the conduct of Saturday's local government election in the state. A source who witnessed the incident but was not authorized to speak on the matter said the move was botched when vigilant security officials alerted principal officers of the Commission and relevant government authorities, who immediately informed Governor Siminalayi Fubara of the development. Also recall that the police, citing a federal high court ruling, announced the withdrawal of their personnel from the election scheduled for Saturday. And now President Bola Tinubu may bar revenue-generating agencies from collecting revenues on behalf of the federal government as he plans to introduce a single agency, Nigeria Revenue Service, to handle the task. This came as the federal government instituted a comprehensive set of fresh tax reforms aimed at significantly boosting revenue collection. The reforms designed to enhance the efficiency of collecting direct taxes along with various levels that are imposed on behalf of the government will bear the Nigerian Customs Service, Nigeria Port Authority, and 60 other revenue collection agencies from participating in revenue collection activities. Both will lead to the creation of the Nigeria Revenue Service. By implementing these changes, the government seeks to streamline the tax collection process, ensuring that all taxable entities contribute their fair share and that the revenue generated is maximized to support public services and infrastructure development. The policy directive was instituted on Thursday when the President forwarded 4 executive bills to the National Assembly for consideration, aiming to implement significant tax reforms. Nigeria is contending with a revenue challenge that cuts across all government tiers, but wants to attain a minimum tax to GDP ratio at 18%. The country's tax GDP ratio is, however, below Africa's average and ranks as one of the lowest in the world. This has led to its fiscal deficit and over-reliance on borrowing to finance public spending, resulting in a cycle of inadequate funding for socio-economic development. This is news analysis coming to you live on Politics and Business Television. Still to come. Minimum wage, federal government makes selective payment. Details of this after the break. Welcome back. It's good to know you're still with us. Moving on. There appears to be selective payments of the 70,000 naira new minimum wage by the federal government, which has triggered fresh tension among federal public workers, as most of those yet to be paid have decried the development. According to some staff of ministries and departments, This category includes workers of federal universities, but sources in the Accountant General's and Budget Office painted different pictures of the situation on the ground last night. While the Accountant General's office said the new minimum wage was affected along with September's salary, the Budget Office said 40,000 naira was paid across the board to all federal workers, but workers are denying this. Recall that President Bola Tinubu signed the 70,000 naira minimum wage into law on July 18, 2024, after about 2 months of protracted negotiations among the tripartite committee members comprising representatives of government, organized private sectors, and organized labor made up of Nigeria Labour Congress and its Trade Union Congress of Nigeria counterparts. And now human rights lawyer Mr. Femi Falana's SAN has denied having anything to do with popular cross-dresser Idris Okuneye, known as Bobrisky, and his alleged bribing of prison officials to serve his prison sentence outside the prison facility. In a viral video by a blogger, Martins Otse, known as Very Dark Man, someone named Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, officers collected the sum of 15 million naira from Bobrisky to drop money laundering charges against him. Very Dark Man also alleged that Falana sought a presidential pardon for Bobrisky in exchange for 10 million naira. But speaking But speaking to news reporters yesterday, Falana denied ever meeting Bobrisky or speaking to him. He described the allegation as infantile radicalism, adding that he had assisted 280 convicted people, both home and abroad, to get pardon, and never on any occasion has he or his law firm demanded for or received a dime from anybody granted pardon. He said he resisted the temptation to file a criminal complaint because he was leading a team of lawyers in West Africa campaigning for discriminalization of freedom of expression. He, however, said that it was not a license for defaming and blackmailing people, adding that they would embark on civil proceedings with a view to restoring his integrity and that of his son. Falana said they want to use this case to set an example so that nobody will simply run to social media to defame any Nigerian. On the alleged corruption in the prison, Falana said that no one has done more than him in exposing the rot in Nigeria correctional centers. He expressed surprise that the House of Representatives was setting up a panel to ascertain the condition of the correctional centers in the country. And now the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adejare Adeboye, has apologized for saying any believer who does not pay tithes will not make heaven. Adeboye, who further narrated his experience at one of the conventions of the Ministry of Kenneth in Tulsa, United States, where a man made a promise to give more than all participants at the convention, said all participants had given about $3.5 million towards the building of the Rema Bible College, but the man promised he was going to give more than what everybody gave towards the project. Still, you're watching news analysis live on Politics and Business Television. Nigerians' loans on lending apps rise to 7.5 trillion naira in 2024. Join us shortly to discuss today's topic with our guests. Stay with us. Welcome back. Nigeria says the number of approved digital lenders in the country has surged by 79.77% since April 2023, reflecting the rising credit appetite among Nigerians. This, the APS Bank revealed, has coincided with a 329.28% year-on-year increase in personal loans to 7.52 trillion naira in March 2024. Data from the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission indicated that the number of digital lenders grew to 311 in September 2024 from 173 in April 2024, indicating a 79.77% rise over the period. The FCCPC registers digital lenders under a limited interim regulatory registration on framework and guidelines for digital lending 2022, which governs the digital lending space and ensures that registration and approval are compulsory for companies seeking to operate. The FCCPC has two approval categories for lenders: full approval and conditional approval. The number of fully approved lenders grew to 269 from 119, while conditional approvals decreased to 42 from 54 from April 2023 to September 2024. Additionally, 14 lenders on the FCCPC's list were approved directly by the CBN. Join us shortly as we discuss this with our today's guests. Stay with us. Welcome back. I am Idris Amina. Let me go over the headlines again. Flooding Borno Yoruba community seeks help. Protesters storm Rivers Electoral Commission, insist election must hold. And Tinubu plans to bar customs, NPA and others from revenue collection. Thank you for joining us on the program for today. Bye for now.